Sultan, the podcast where we explore the voices of the past through music. I'm your host, Khayana, and today we're going way back to the Renaissance, an era of rebirth not just in art and science, but in music as well. With me today, there are three insightful guests who spend a lot of time studying this period. There's Nana, Mareta, and Al. Thank you all for joining me here today. Thanks for
Thanks
having
for having
us. Thank you for
us.
having us.
Excited to be here.
Nice to be here. Let's get into it. Nana, can you start us off with a big picture look at what makes Renaissance music feel so unique compared to what came before? Of course, the Renaissance period, roughly from 1400 to 1600, marked a shift toward more expressive, balanced, and harmonically rich music. One major development was polyphony, multiple, equally important melodic lines happening at once. This was a huge contrast to simpler monophonic chants of the medieval era. Wow, so instead of just one melody line, you had a whole conversation happening in the music. Exactly, and it wasn't chaotic, it was organized, harmonious. Another defining feature was imitative counterpoint. A melody would appear in one voice, then echo in another. Think of it like a musical echo, creating texture and depth. And we can forget modal harmony. Renaissance composers didn't use our modern major or minor scales yet. Instead, they used models like Dorian, Phrygian, and Mixolydian, which gave the music an ancient but beautiful sound.
Also, many works were a cappella, especially sacred music. The human voice was the primary instrument, and composers were deeply invested in the clarity of text. Especially during the Counter-Reformation, they wanted the audition to feel the words and understand them. Speaking of words, I've always loved the idea of word painting. Can someone explain that to me? Sure. It's when the music mirrors the literal meaning of the music. So if the lyrics mention ascending to heaven, the melody might rise. If they say falling, the notes drop. It was a creative way to emotionally connect the music of the words.
Sure, also it's poetic, and it really emphasizes how Renaissance composers start thinking of music as an emotional and intellectual experience, not just a spiritual one. Yeah, that's a shift toward secular themes must have had a huge impact on music styles too, right? Absolutely. Composers started writing madrigals, cantates, and instrumental dance that explored themes like love, nature, and sometimes even political satire. It wasn't all religious anymore.
An instrument like the lute, harpsichord, and viol became more prominent too, especially in court settings.
That's a perfect setup for our next section. Let's talk about the geniuses behind this beautiful music, shall we? So, let's dive into the people who made this music come to life. Nana, who's one of the Renaissance composer we should all know? Without question, I think Joaquin Despas, he was the superstar of his time, almost like the Beethoven of the Renaissance. He was known for his ability to blend polyphony and emotion seamlessly. His motets like Ave Mary are considered masterpieces. Wow, what made him stand out? His music felt human. It was precise but emotional. He also mastered text expression, allowing the words to reflect the music's form and mood. Incredible. Mareta, who's another name we should recognize? Yes, that would be Palestrina, Giovanni Pirologi da Palestrina. He represented the pinnacle of sacred choral music during the Counter-Reformation. His style was calm, clear, and deeply spiritual.
And he was the guy the church held up as the ideal composer. The Council of Trent even praised his work for being devotional without being overly complex. His Pope Marcellus Mass is still studied today.
And beyond just sacred music, there were composers like Thomas Morley in England who popularized madrigals and Clement Janiquin in France who wrote music that imitated natural sounds like birds and beetles. Wait, music that sounds like birds and beetles?
Yes, Janiquin's Laguerre used rhythmic vocal patterns to imitate gunfire and shouting. It's like Renaissance sounds effect.
That's really amazing. Were there notable women in Renaissance music too? Yes, though they weren't as recognized at the time. One notable figure is Maddalena Casulana, the first woman to have her music printed and published. She wrote madrigals and was a strong advocate for women's role in composition. Cool. talk instrument for a bit. What were some popular Renaissance instruments that we should know?
The lute was hugely popular. It's kind of like a Renaissance guitar. People use it of use it for solo pieces and to accompany singers. There were also record swans, a type of early yeah, and files which were like soft tone cellos.
And don't forget keyboard instruments. The harpsichord and clavichord were used for both solo and ensemble music. And organ music, especially in churches, that was a big part of the sacred tradition. And also, music printing technology was improving thanks to figures like Petrik, who printed one of the first collection of polyphonic music in 1151. This helped spread music across Europe. Wow, so not only was the music changing, but it was becoming more accessible too. Exactly. So let's reflect. What is the legacy of Renaissance music in today's world? For me, it's about structure and beauty. Modern classical music still uses counterpoint, and the Renaissance gave us the foundation for harmony.
I'd say it's also about how we tell stories through music, a Renaissance composer showed us how to use music to reflect mood, meaning, and narrative.
And it inspired composers from later periods like Bach, who studied Renaissance counterpoint intensively, even in film scores. Today, you can hear echoes of modal harmonies and a cappella textures. So, do you guys in this modern world still listening to Renaissance music until right now?
Absolutely. I love putting on a Tallis Scholar's recording or something by the King's Singer. It's calming and meditative.
Same here, especially matriculates. They are so expressive, sometimes even funny, and I enjoy it. And I love how much of it still feels relevant. You don't need to understand Latin to feel the emotion in a Palestrina mess. Amazing! This has been such a wonderful and beautiful discussion. Thank you so much, Nana, Mareta, and all for sharing your passion and insight today. To our listeners, we hope this episode inspired you to explore the sound of the Renaissance, whether it's just Queen's sacred motets or a playful Italian madrigal. There are so much to discover. Next week, we'll shift into the bold world of Baroque music, featuring composers like Bach, Handel, and Vivaldi. It's going to be thrilling ride. Until then, keep listening, stay curious, and remember, every echo from the past helps shape the music of the future. Thanks for tuning to Echoes of Time. See you next time. Thanks for joining us today in Echoes of Time. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Mareta. And thank you, all. And as the moderator, I'll signing off. Bye.